Hello, and thank you for calling the Higher Self Hotline, your direct line to the divine. You've been led here by your inner knowing, and you've arrived right on cue. I'm your host, Zoe Greco, and together we'll make the ethereal earthly, helping you consciously embody your spiritual knowing and most authentic self. Please listen carefully to the following options. To discover how to fulfill your soul's purpose, press 1. To unlock infinite abundance in life, love, and career, press 2. To heal your mind, body, and spirit, press 3. To speak with your personal spirit guides, press 0. Please hold while we connect you to your highest timeline. Hi friends! Just dropping in to let you know that my October and November schedule for client sessions is now open. If you've been feeling the call to shift into deeper alignment, authenticity, abundance, and activation, this isn't just your sign, but this is an invitation from my higher self to yours. As my personal token of gratitude for your loyal listenership, I'm sharing a secret code created only for my podcast community because you are my true soul family and the people that I am genuinely born to serve. There is something special between us, a resonance that you already feel if you find yourself coming back week after week. And I want to acknowledge and honor that connection. And I'm hoping that you'll use this code as your permission slip to invest in yourself and in this experience. Head to zoegreco.com to book your session and enter Higher Self at checkout to save 10%. I would be deeply honored to walk with you, and I can't wait to see you in session. Hello, divine darlings, and welcome back to the Higher Self Hotline. I'm your host, Zoe Greco. Thank you so much for joining me today. In today's episode, you'll get to listen in on a client session in which we explore what it means to embrace both our intuitive gifts and our very human selves without abandoning either. You'll hear us unpack the pressure to perform spirituality, quote, correctly, the resistance that often surfaces when we begin dreaming bigger, and the subtle urgency that stems from ego rather than divine timing. Together, we dive into the beauty of integrating our spiritual and human identities, not as opposing forces, but as collaborators in our evolution. If you've ever felt like your human self is getting left behind in your spiritual journey, or if you're navigating the tension between ambition and surrender, then I know that there is medicine in this episode for you. So without further ado, let's get into it. How are you today?
I'm a little bit in chaos energy, but
yeah.
But I'm here, so I'm glad.
I'm glad too. I'm really excited to be with you. I just finished reading your intake, and as usual, I really enjoy it. I actually love what you have to say. It's so deep. It's so fucking real. It's just so real. And it feels so good to do this type of work and to get to do it with you as someone I truly care about. So I'm really excited to be here with you. And I want to just say, I really welcome your chaotic energy that you're feeling. And also it feels a lot messier, I think, on the inside than it really feels to the outside. From where I'm standing, I just see real honesty and authenticity and willingness and exploratory energy and courage and just general badassery. But I understand how it feels to be inside of it. But I wanted to just reflect that to you, that from the outside, it's honestly giving badass. It's really beautiful to witness. And I'm excited to dive into each piece of this with you. And I'm kind of curious where you feel like you want to start.
Let's see. Honestly, I'm pretty open. The chaos is just chaos. So I don't really know where to start.
Awesome. Well, first and foremost, I'm really excited about this grief ceremony that you experienced. You described it as like a significant life event. And it does feel very like canonical. It feels very initiatory, like it's opened something up really powerfully. To even tap into that and tune into that. When reading this whole entire thing, to me, there's actually a lot of clarity in this, like very overt clarity. I'm curious, did you read it back after you wrote it, or did you just like send it off?
I like briefly read through to scan for typos.
Because to me, it's so logical. Like it makes so much sense. It doesn't feel chaotic. It feels really clear and informed. It just feels like a person who is communicating their process as they are in process, which for me personally, I can understand that feeling chaotic because my own process feels chaotic to me. But I think in general, as creative people, we seem and feel quite generally chaotic, at least to those who operate more like functionally or like pragmatically. But when you're a person that's actually willing to grapple with and experience and deeply, thoroughly live your existence, it is kind of messy. Like life is not orderly or neat. And there's a lot I think that's here to touch on. First, to say, this ritual, this grief ritual, it feels like it was very unlocking. Something happened here that feels like it has opened up a pathway of like passion and interest and like genuine intrigue and like desire, like a seeking that I have not actually heard from you in quite a while. Like even prior to the passing of your father, it was like there was like a lot of, I watched you be very like self-disciplining, like very stern with yourself, like shame on me for dreaming and trying. And now I have to get really serious. But I'm also ashamed of myself for getting really serious because how boring of me. It's like there was a lot of like self-criticism, which also was beautiful to witness in its process because it's all part of something big, right? It's all part of this bigger experience of being you in this beautiful life that you are creating. And I think we can see the way that this particular experience, that this ritual really opened you up because it released some of that internal pressure. It's like when a tea kettle goes off, it's like it's letting out the steam that builds up inside. And, you know, even talking about how angry and like resentful that you were feeling prior to that experience and the way that it was able to energetically shift things for you, open you back up to embodiment and curiosity, but also this deeper piece of like reclamation that you're looking to experience, whether that's indigenous healing or whether that is like village culture, as you described it. It feels like there's something really profound here, which also feels like it connects to this other point that you made around the communities that you once were excitedly a part of and now have kind of the ick toward. And it's specifically the sort of like white appropriation and beyond the appropriation, like the general like misuse and misunderstanding and like lack of understanding of these modalities. And I thought that was such a powerful reflection on a multitude of levels because, and you kind of named this yourself. You said, it may be that I'm simply outgrowing communities and spaces, which yes, you have been changed. You have been altered through this death portal with your father. This has changed you immeasurably, and it's not going to feel like a fit to be in spaces that are superficial when you are now even more deep and profound and affected as a human being than you were before. And I think, you know, there was a comfort maybe before of like, oh, like this is at least fun. I'm around like a shared interest or a shared vision. And like that community feels very validating. But now when you're in those spaces, you're like, I don't feel validated by this. I feel like insulted by it, that like you're trying to sell this to me as something real when it's clearly not, because it is no longer a resonant space for you. You clearly are seeking something deeper, like ready to step into something deeper, ready to possibly create something deeper, or at least at the very least be a part of something deeper, which does exist. It is accessible and you've tasted it through this grief ritual. Like this grief ritual was like an experience for you of like, oh yeah, this is a taste of what it looks like when modalities are not, appropriated, or when they are operated in integrity. This is what it feels like to be in genuine community, in like beyond community, in village, because community is like more of a choice. I feel village is like a necessity. It's survival. And also like in many ways you do choose that, but it's not as like, what's the word I'm looking for when you can just throw something away? It's not as easily, thrown away, whatever, as something that is more profound and deep and like ingrained in you, like a village experience. And you're also describing yourself as antsy. You're like, I'm antsy. So I want to just reflect to you that you are clearly being prepared for what comes next. And in that experience, there is excitement, and I feel it in you. Like it feels very bold, perhaps a little bit reckless, but like in the best way possible. Like, what's the worst that could happen? Fuck it. Like whatever. Like you're kind of in this place where you're like, what's left to lose? Like I've faced this major loss, this major pain, and I understand life differently now. So now I'm willing to take different risks. I'm willing to take different steps than I was before. And so anything that is not as grounded or profound or real, raw, authentic is not going to feel good for you. You're ready to claim a life that is real, raw, deep, and authentic. And I hear that even in your relationship when you're like, when I can just put it down and put it aside, and like if I can really like drop my barriers and just lean into the love that we have for each other and not worry about which one of us is going to end up paying the bills, like I actually have a really good time with this person. Like there is a deep, profound connection here when I'm not placing parameters or expectations on it. It's in every way you're feeling ready to experience something deeper, which is your internal self saying, hey, I'm ready to go deeper. Let's go deeper. And then we have this human self that has to deal with what still exists on the surface. It's like, in order to dive, you have to dive through sort of like the clutter. It's almost like if you were to try and go deep sea diving, there's a bunch of trash floating on the surface of the water. It's like, okay, I have to get through these layers of trash until I can get down into these depths. And when we deal with those layers of trash, it can feel frustrating. It can feel crazy making. It can feel unfair. It can cause resentment. And also, I think it's important to realize that there is a level of that trash that is self-created. And it does feel like it's been created more by a previous self, or a self that you are like undressing from, a self that you are like taking off. And so there will also be in this process moments of navigating like a dialogue between the you are now and the you that like built and created this situation. And that's not to say that you're responsible for your experiences entirely, but like there is a level of personal responsibility that when you claim means that you're actually able then to affect even deeper change. Like when you know that you're in charge of something, then you can change it. So I'm excited to dive into that more specifically, but I know I've just already done a lot of speaking toward you. So I'm curious how it feels to receive this. If there's any part of what I've said that is not resonant or creating friction for you, or anything you want to speak out around before we keep going.
Yeah, I'm appreciating this so much. And I think the first part, I could feel like some emotion in terms of being accepted in the chaos and sort of in that, like that feels tender. Like I can feel it now. But then when you talked about the like antsy part, like, yeah, there's this, it's almost, yeah, this other part that's like, yeah, everything's tough and I'm, whatever, like navigating all this stuff. And a deeper part, I'm like, I'm kind of excited.
Yeah, you are excited.
It's like, man, things are a shit show, but a deeper part. And it's like, wow, what's up with this part?
When was the last time that you felt excited? Like, to me, as a witness of you, it feels like it's been like years since you've been genuinely excited.
Yeah, probably in like a deep way that doesn't have any of my external or even sort of internal dialogue.
Yeah. There's something really powerful that is happening in women right now. I feel it in myself too. The people pleaser in me is really fighting for her life, but there's this other part of me that's like, what if we just fuck it all up? What if we just, like, there's this movement where women are kind of more inclined to become agents of chaos and just operate in complete, just, even if it's messy or imperfect or disorganized or disgusting, even if it's like perverse, like just this absolute authenticity. And I really see this happening for you as well. And on such deep, profound layers and levels, I know that you are someone that I can be really honest with. I think in most other client situations, I have to be really mindful of how I speak and what I say and how I deliver it. And I don't feel that today. I don't feel that here. I feel an invitation into honesty in like this really raw, unfiltered way, because basically like you're already in a process of deep transformation. And so to call it anything else or to like mute what is happening to you and through you and from you would be a disservice and a waste of your time and energy. So I guess just like buckle up because Spirit has some things to say. So the first being, you are definitely being invited into a reality where you will be required, and it is a requirement. It's like a prereq for this new life to be willing to release most of, if not all of, your protection mechanisms. The things that you've been using to protect yourself. So like your muggle job being one of those things, the walls and the barriers that you have in your relationship, like those are also not going to serve you moving forward. Your attachment to financial stability and what that specifically looks like, or where your attachment to where you believe and how you believe financial stability is accessed, I guess is actually a better way to say that. Your old beliefs and old worldviews are crumbling. It's like you're looking at the world in new eyes, and these new eyes like see through it. It's like you have X-ray vision now, and you're like, whoa, that used to be a building, and now it's like a bunch of people inside moving around like ants in an ant farm. Like you see the deeper layer of everything, which is going to make other things feel really inconsequential and insignificant. Another thing that you will be asked to release is around your creative process and your artwork. So referring to the part of your intake where you were talking about you're fantasizing about getting back into your own work and your own paintings, but you have these 2 commissions that like are, as you described, years overdue, and you're not giving yourself permission to create because those paintings aren't done. But what if those paintings aren't done because that's how you can justify not giving yourself permission to get back into creative energy? And that's what Spirit is talking about. It's like, let's just say you never did those paintings. Does that mean that you could never make art? Yeah. It's like a little silly when we think about it, And that's really what we're talking about is like, so let's just say we never do these paintings. Does that mean you can never make art again? Let's say that you pursue careers that are just frivolous and based in artistry and healing and love and connection that maybe don't pay the bills in the way that you previously believed they needed to be. Like, would it kill you to just be happy with someone you love, doing something you love? Like, would that be the end of the world? Maybe to the former you, but not to the you that you are. And it's interesting because I know we've had readings where Spirit's like, this relationship isn't going to work. Like, this relationship can't survive the way that it's moving, but you have changed so much that now it can. Like it wasn't going to work then between those 2 people, but you have changed so drastically that now you are a person who can hold that. And here's the thing. This is all hypothetical to say that if you lend yourself to a life you genuinely love, go back into work that you genuinely enjoy, build it in a new and different way, get back into a position of creating for yourself, and he does the same, and there's no money because of it. That's literally a story. It's not even real. It's not true. We don't know because you haven't done it yet. Maybe if you had been doing things the way you were doing them before, that story would be true. But what I really sense from you is you want to be doing different work, doing work differently, that you want to be taking this into some new space that truly, when it comes through, feels like it is something akin to like, grief and art therapy, or like death, like a death recognition or death ceremony and art therapy, or like there's something here around like loss, grief, creation, healing. Like those words feel very like seeds that are being planted that will twist themselves into like vines of fruit. And that's the way that Spirit is kind of saying, is like, hey, we're planting these seeds of curiosity, openness, vulnerability, open-mindedness, all of these different new layers of self that you have been. I mean, you've always been curious and exploratory and creative and open-minded. And now it's almost like your brain has been cracked open. Your soul has been cracked open. Like there's something that is more open. And I keep getting the word reckless. It's like, let's just see what happens. Let's just go for it. And there's something so liberated about that, so free in that. And I really do believe that you are a person today that can build a life around your genuine passions and interests, and build a relationship with a person that you love deeply and dearly, and feel safe and stable and secure and provided for in that life. That we don't have to hold the story that you have to pick one or the other, that it's stability or freedom. Like what a limiting paradigm. And that's old. It doesn't fit the person that you are anymore. And I think it's really, really, really fucking brave for you to be able to feel the feelings of growth that most people avoid. And that I can say myself personally, I get really uncomfortable with these feelings in myself, and I hide them. And when I hide them, I end up hiding myself, which is the opposite of what I need to be doing. So in many ways, I find you to be such a profound teacher, because you're willing to be like, grumble, grumble, look at these white people dancing, rah, rah, grumble, grumble. It's like, fuck yeah. Like, yeah, that shit's whack. Like, why do we support it? Why? Because it's an entry point, it's an entry level experience. And you are so far beyond an entry level experience. You're ready for something truly, truly deep. But the only way for you to know that is to feel the grumble, to feel like the rumble of resentment and annoyance and like, get the fuck out of here-ness that you're feeling. And that is all so imperatively significant. It is profound. It is necessary. It's essential to this transformative experience that you're moving through. You have to feel this dissonance so strongly to be able to understand what is actually in resonance. And the fact that there are things that are creating like disgust or grossing you out or giving you the ick is so good. Like what an incredible, your sniffer got stronger. Like your radar got sharper. You are really now clear, like, nope, that doesn't work for me. And so what if in the process you're annoyed and grumbly and like grouchy about it? Good. That doesn't last forever. It's a moment. It's an experience. It's just a moment. And actually, you said something in your intake. You were like, I fantasize about taking drumming lessons or voice lessons. And I was recently at a house concert here in Phoenix, and there was a performer. I'm trying to remember her real name, but her stage name is Hugh Mongrel, which I thought was so great. And she is an indigenous, basically like music therapist. And she was performing, like everyone was just performing. It was like a regular concert. People are playing the guitar, or they're playing whatever, and they're singing, and they're doing Avril Lavigne covers and whatever. And she comes out and she's like, hey, we're going to sing a song for the land, and I'm going to start it, and then you guys are going to sing. And it changed the whole room. It was like this, I felt like I was transported into a different time. It was timeline shifting, genuinely. And I think that this is a person who you would resonate with extremely deeply. And even if you just have a session, like one single session of vocal activation, I think she is also a voice teacher, like vocal activation, using music in your process, like to invest in yourself in that way and to have that experience. I think even one experience would be deeply transformative for you. So I'm going to send that to you on Instagram. This is exactly what Spirit is asking you to do, is like lean into the places that you want and lean away from the places that don't feel good, and to just stop caring if it makes any sense. Because what I think you've learned by now is that life doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. And I think the most ironic part of this whole thing is that you have made such dedicated, intentional choices to build your life in like stability and security in something that is maybe like unshakable. And even in that, the US government was like, actually, we're going to fuck your shit up. Like, we're going to make it bad for you. So talking about like, your day job and how, the home interior industry has just been jacked up because of manufacturing and supply chain. And like, that is something that felt probably like, oh, that's unshakable. Like, yes, COVID kind of affected that a little bit, created a wave, but we recovered from that and we recovered even better and even stronger. And, consumerism actually increased violently because of COVID. And now we're seeing that you can make plans for yourself and you can set goals and you can put yourself in certain positions that you believe are going to create stability. And that isn't safe either. So if nothing is safe and nothing is real and nothing can be relied on, then what's to hold you back? Like, what is holding you back? And I think that's like the voice that's inside of you. That's what it's saying is like, why am I doing this? And that can feel chaotic because you are completely dismantling a self that has existed and a belief system that she existed inside of and challenging all of it. And part of it is being really validated to you in your external experience. And part of it is also being challenged by your external experience. And you still have to find the courage inside of you to pursue the internal call anyway, to just say, well, clearly I'm not actually in control of anything. So why don't I just pursue what I enjoy, pursue what intrigues me, pursue what interests me, pursue what excites me, and then decide if it's going to fuck up my life or make me poor or any of these things. Maybe just maybe I don't have to decide it's not going to work out before I do it. I can just try. And I know that it is scary because you've done that before, but you have never done that before. You have never done that before. Who you used to be gave it a try in a different way, doing something else, trying her best. And you know what? She was great too. She was awesome. I remember her. I love her. And I liked everything about her. And I believe in her cause and I believe in her mission and I believe in her work and I believe in what she was doing. And I also believe in you. And I know that you have never tried this before. You don't necessarily have to do it the way that you were doing it. And you don't have to do it. You don't even have to do what you were doing. And that's what you're being invited into is like the next iteration, which requires a different level of courage, a different type of courage. And luckily, you're kind of like beautifully unhinged enough to just go, okay, yeah, all right. All right. Okay. And that's all it takes. That's literally all it takes is permission. But I want to be honest with you and remind you, you're going to fight both ways. Like the new you is going to be like, onward ho. And the old you is going to be like, please stop dragging me behind this horse. I cannot fucking do it. And we have to be lovingly patient with each of those parts of you because they're both important. They're both important. To tell a dying person that they're not dying is pretty fucked up, Like you have to look at the dying self and say, you are dying, and like hold her in it and tell her that you love her and tell her that it is going to be okay. Reassure her, even if you're not sure if what you're saying is true. She's dying. She's not going to know if you're lying to her. And the truth is, you don't know if you are either. But don't decide before you try that it's not going to work out because you don't deserve to feel that way. So this time is really thrilling and exciting and vulnerable and sad, like you're not just navigating the grief of losing your father, you're also navigating the grief of losing who you were before that happened. And I understand that because she was my friend. I love her, I get that. And there was something like kind of beautifully naive about her. There were things she didn't know. And we are starting to undo her life right in front of her. So of course she's going to have something to say about it, but that's not really your problem. But we do have to be kind to her in the process. I mean, it helps. We get to be kind to her. We get to be soft with her. We get to love her. We get to reassure her. And maybe, just maybe, if while we're doing that, we convince ourselves that it's going to work out too. There's a lot that you're navigating right now. It's all big. It's all humongous. It's all profound and exciting. And I would not be doing my job if I didn't tell you that you already know what you want to do from this moment, what you want to do. And this is where we begin to grant the permission to do those things. And this is who you already are. Like, you already are this person. We just need to take off who you have been so that you can fully be this person. And who you have been has been covering and shrouding the true you to be safe, to protect you so that you could feel safe in your family dynamic and safe in the world and safe as a creative person. Like, she was constructed as a disguise to keep you safe. And now it's just too tight. Like, we can't be in this costume anymore. And so we're going to take it off and we're going to lay it down and we're going to treat it with respect and treat it with kindness, treat it with love and treat it with gratitude for all the things that it did. But now it's in the way. And honestly, so fucking what if the real you is a little unhinged and a little chaotic and a little bold and like a little brasher and a little bit different? Like, who gives a fuck? Who cares? Who cares? I like that part of you too. And I actually really think you like that part of you the most. And that's what matters. Like, you have to like you. And I think you're starting to, and that's a freaky feeling. You're like, why do I like myself more? The more unhinged I get, the more chaotic I feel. Why do I like myself more? Because it's not performative or contrived. It is real. And that is exciting. So no wonder you're excited, and no wonder you're struggling with this, and no wonder you're resentful, and no wonder you're agitated, because all of those feelings make perfect sense. How are you feeling right now?
Oh man, you opened the faucets.
Samesies. Samesies. I've been crying all morning. All my clients have been making me cry. But it feels good. I love crying with you guys, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm really, 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 really happy for you. Like, taking off my like spiritual coach hat for a second. Like, this is you. This is you. And I know it feels messy, but to be honest, this is the happiest I've heard you in a long time. Truly. Like, I'm serious. Like, this is so you. It's so true. It feels so good. And I really, me, Zoe, I really want you to lean into this person that you are so badly, so badly. I really want that for you because I care about you and I want you to stay happy and I want you to keep creating new levels and layers of happiness and pain and joy and suffering and excitement and fear. Like, I need you to keep creating all of those things because you are expanding consciousness in a direction that only you can create for us. It's huge. It's monumental. And I think you're just sort of seeing how big it actually is. It's bigger than soul transmission paintings. You know, it's something else. It's something different. Soul essence portraits. It's different. And it doesn't mean that your soul essence portraits were small beans. It just means they were one of the steps to being where you are. And I want to just say, as a human, I relate to this like pretty big. I'm thinking about not being a psychic anymore, like doing this differently, like just calling myself something else and believing that that's enough.
Yeah.
I know how scary this is. I'm doing it too. But we don't really have a choice. We kind of have to do it. And I'm proud of you. I'm really, really proud of you because I know how hard it is. And I love you.
Yeah. I love you too. And I'm excited for whatever's unfolded for you that's bigger.
Thanks. I am too.
I totally am like, oh yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah. Like, it's just different, And also, like, I guess this is growing up or something. I don't know. Like, this is like, oh, like we're adults now. Like, we're adult versions of who we like. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, I'm not the 24-year-old who identified as like a mermaid hippie gypsy. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that makes sense. I'm not really that girl anymore. But letting go of that armor and that disguise is like super uncomfortable. So makes me feel so unsafe. And like, yeah, I get what you're going through. But also, like, if you give it like a week and go back and read your intake form, you'll be like, oh, yeah, okay. Like, I don't have to be psychic to know what's happening with you. And it's so exciting. And I'm so excited for you. And luckily, we recorded this so you can listen to it whenever you need the reminder. And I'm happy that you're happy with, and I'm happy that he's exploring himself and figuring it out and not attached to financial whatever. And like, guess what? There's room enough for 2 artists. Other people have done it. They do not like, it's so possible. It is so possible. You get to both be 2 creative souls creating life together and just enjoying it without worrying so much about how you're going to do this or that, because you will. You always do. You literally always have. So maybe just like try doing it without so much expectation.
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah. You're the best.
Thank you.
You are the best. And you're going to love Human Girl. She's going to, honestly, you might decide that you're in love with her. I'm not sure, but you're going to love her. Like, I genuinely, like, you're going to fall so madly in love. And I think her work is going to be like really potent for you. So I will send that information to you. Toot sweet. And in the meantime, I'm giving you a big, big, big hug. And I love you. And I cannot wait for our next chance to connect.
Well, thank you. Big hugs your way too.
All right, friend. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Well, there you have it, blessed babes. Thank you so much for tuning in for another episode. And I would love if we could take a moment to send this week's subject some love, sweetness, and positivity as she continues to affirm her wholeness, welcome her humanity, and expand into the next era with grace and gentleness. If you're interested in being on the podcast, send an email to podcast@zoegreco.com. Connect with me on all socials at the Zoe Greco. And of course, I want to conclude by reminding you that you are important, you matter, and you are perfect exactly as you are. I love you. Your spirit guides love you, and the universe loves you. So until next time, keep answering the call of your higher self. Bye.